Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Little different kind of video than what most of my viewers are used to, so bear with me, and we'll get through this. The problem with date apps and dating websites, specifically free ones. Alright, so as a social experiment, yes, you can just look at my desktop for just a minute. Yeah, it's Windows 7. Moving on. It's kind of an experiment for a couple different reasons. Figure what the hell. I'm going to check out, I've been divorced for 2 years, something like that. I don't know. Whatever. So I figured, I started off with good reasoning to check out some dating apps, and I heard about one of them, which is Facebook dating. Figured that's probably got to be the easiest and safest one to use. But I went ahead and checked out a few other ones, and at first it was just specifically for me to look for somebody. For those of you who kind of know what my story is, which I won't get into into this video, but I am home every day. I don't usually go anywhere other than going to the store, going out to eat, things like that. I don't go anywhere. I don't go out to go to a job. I work from home. Everything revolves around being here. But every so often it would be nice to have a special somebody to spend some time with outside of the home. I can get an hour here and there, 2 or 3 hours maybe, just to go out and spend time with somebody else. And I figured, what the heck, I'll give it a try. Well, I kept running into problems, and we'll get into that as the video progresses. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I decided, what the hell? Let's just turn this into a social experiment. If anything good comes out of it, great. But nothing bad's going to come out of it on my end. So it turned into a social experiment. And I spent about a month using a handful of different dating apps and websites. They're all free, and there's one that I didn't write down on my list of things here, which I'll mention briefly. But of these different websites, I went on there. I specifically put down most, real information and specific age range of what I was looking for. Which I then ended up adjusting to 18 to 45. I figure, hey, if an 18-year-old wants to hook up, great. I'm all for it. But why did I limit it at 45 when I'm actually 51 years old? Yeah, I'm old. Get over it. Because I figure at 45, that's when a lot of the ladies that I see, not a lot, I see quite a few though on these different sites that list their age as one thing and they're absolutely full of shit. Oh, I'm 39 years old. Bitch, you look 80. Whether you are or are not, there's one thing to not look your age, to look younger than your age. But yeah, some of the ladies out there that listed their age as 46 look like they were more 56 or 66. And if you're actually 46, then you've had a really rough life. Sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I see a lot of women that are over 40 have gotten into the habit of lying about their age. And I figure, hey, any relationship built off of an initial lie to begin with, if you're going to lie about your age, what else are you going to lie about? So, moving right along. I did put down racial limitations. I'm not a racist, but I know what I like, and my personal preference is going to be white, Asian, and Latino. That's what my preference is. I'm not racist. I can't stress that enough. And let me just say that there were quite a few of the black ladies that I saw that were pretty damn nice. But we won't get into that. Like I said, I don't discriminate on race. Just my personal preference is white, Asian, and Latino. And yes, I have dated black girls before, and I treat every woman as a woman I don't give a damn what color your skin is. So we're going to move past that. If you start calling me a racist, then you can just kiss my ass. I'm not. So let's move right along. Of the sites that I went on, and I'm going to add one into the list here that I didn't put down on my list of topics to cover. I actually have a somewhat of a script to cover here instead of my usual free-flowing nonsense. I'm trying to improve my videos, so yeah. So the first one was Plenty of Fish. Free website, free to sign up, free to use, and I'll cover more about each of these after I go through this list. Tinder, Facebook dating, OkCupid, Ashley Madison, and yes, even Grindr. Don't judge me. This is all part of a social experiment, so it doesn't say anything about my preferences on whatever else. It's nobody's business. If I'm straight or bi or gay or whatever else, I love the ladies, so we're just going to move right along. And this is not the point of the experiment. We'll go ahead and cover Ashley Madison right off the bat right now. Ashley Madison website, don't waste your time. It is not worth going to, because 99% of the stuff that you can do on that website is not free, even though they list themselves as a free website. And the majority of what you're going to find is it's kind of listed as a website for cheating men and women. For if you want to cheat on your wife or you want to cheat on your husband, you go to Ashley Madison. That's not the kind of scene that I'm looking for. So after discovering exactly what it was and seeing how much they had their hand out for money on everything, I said, screw it, I'm out of here, and I closed my account. Okay, so we're going to focus in on Plenty of Fish, Tinder, Facebook dating, OkCupid, and Grindr. Alright, so again, with these, I put down real information about me, and I used my real face image and real stats about me. So there was no lies about anything on my stats whatsoever. So we have that covered, and what I'm looking for. Plenty of Fish. Okay, this is just going to be a quick overview. Plenty of Fish to me is a dating app, or you can go on the website and use it as well, where you can try to find to me, it seems like more of a place to find an actual date or a relationship and not a hookup site. I've heard of people that actually have hooked up from Plenty of Fish, but to me, it just kind of feels more like you're trying to find somebody to date for short-term or long-term relationship. So that's my overall feel of what Plenty of Fish is. Tinder. To me, this app was always when I hear people talking about Tinder, oh, it's hookups. You're just trying to find somebody to hook up. And it's the only thing that I really heard was the primary purpose of what Tinder was for. So to me, I looked at it as a hookup, or even a date app for just finding something that's more of a right now thing instead of a long-term thing. And if anything long-term came up, great. But primarily it just seems like it's more of a hookup thing where you swipe right for, hey, I like the way she looks, where you're not even reading their frickin' profile information. People are just swiping right. If they want to screw you, they'll swipe right. If they don't want to screw you, they'll swipe left. And to me, that's what I feel. It's all about, the quick yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. It's a right now thing. Facebook dating. To me, it kind of seems like a place where you'd find somebody for a relationship, a longer term relationship. Few weeks, few months, few years, lifetime. To me, that's what it kind of feels like. Not a hookup site or, hey, let's go, whatever. It's more of a long-term deal. OkCupid, it seemed like it was going to be more of a mixed bag where you could put down, okay, I'm looking for a hookup or monogamous, non-monogamy, I am single, I'm married, I've got a boyfriend, or in a relationship, or um, there's a lot of gender identity there, which is a whole different ballgame for me to discuss, but and I won't get into. But it's one of those things where I can put down that I'm a man or I'm a woman, or I am a cis man, CIS, or man or woman, and I'm not going to get into all this gender identity stuff. And to me, that's a whole different ballgame. I don't care if you were born a man, you felt like you should have been a woman, so you dress up as a woman. Go for it. Knock yourself out. Got no problems with it. Um, you want to be a transgender or transvestite or whatever. I don't care. It is. I have no problem with what you're doing. It does not matter to me. I'm not going to get hung up on gender identity. It's not something that's important to me. So, with OkCupid, it was you could put down exactly what you identify with as your gender identity and what you're looking for, whether it's a hookup or if it's a, you know, meeting new friends or dating or long term or whatever. You can put that down there. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, as part of the social experiment, I kind of wanted to be equal across the board. So yes, you know, as I mentioned earlier, I did go on Grindr just to see what it was like, and it's just a meat market. It's primarily an app for gay guys to hook up, is what it amounts to. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, by the way. The reason why I do these as live streams is not just because I'm lazy and it's easier for me to live stream them, but it also allows people to actually make comments and join in on the discussion as necessary. I do have chat up, so I should be able to see if anybody has anything to add to this. So I did want to cover the experiences that I had with each of these websites and apps. And I'll start, and I'll just go down the list. And the first one being Plenty of Fish. It is a free website. You can go on the website or on the app, completely free. Create a profile. You can talk to people. You can set up a lot of different parameters of what you're looking for and who can respond back, whether they have to have a picture or they're within a certain age range. There's a lot of good features to it. But there's a lot of features out there and a lot more that I would feel comfortable with where they're just holding their hands out. Hey, you need to have premium to be able to do this, or did you know if you had premium you could do that? They keep holding their hands out wanting their money. Got no problem with that if it was getting any good responses, and I didn't get any. So them constantly holding their hand out for money is what kind of draws me away from that a little bit. But another thing that really annoys me is, okay, if I set up the app, no problem, but if I go to the website, I've got my system set up to actually block a lot of cookies, because I don't want people to farm my information and my browsing history and whatever I'm typing. I don't want cookies, so I block out the majority of the cookies, and yes, it breaks a lot of websites, and I don't care. I'll just go to a different website. So with them, if I try to log into the website on my PC, I have to do a authentication on my phone. So I have to tie my phone to that account, and they have to send me a code, of which I only have a few seconds to enter that code from my phone into the website before that code is null and void. I have to do that every time because I block their cookies, because I don't want them farming my info. So, yeah. I didn't have a whole lot of success with Plenty of Fish. I used it once before, back before I got married, and I did have some success with it. So that's why I went back to this one, and just nothing this time. Alright, so let's move into Tinder. Okay, I've heard so many victory stories about how Tinder hookups and that and everything else was awesome. And okay, so I set up my account on Tinder and I put a real picture of me. I am not an ugly person. I'm not some skinny 20-something, but that seems to be the the majority of what's on there. But yeah, so moving into that, I had a lot of different conversations from people that I met on Tinder over this experiment, over this about 3.5 weeks or so, and any of the ones that were actually real, they didn't really seem like they were. And again, I look at Tinder as being more of a kind of hookup site, or hey, let's get together and go out. This is a right now kind of deal. And of the girls or ladies that I talked to that were real, I wasn't getting that whole thing of hey, let's go out right now. They're kind of looking, and they get a lot of crap also. So I understand that. And I really understood that after going on Grindr, but we'll get into that later. So it's like, okay, I just wasn't getting any headway with them. We were having lovely conversations, but I'm not on Tinder for a conversation. I'm on Tinder because I want to go out. I want to go on a date. I want to get in your pants. Whatever else, I'm there for a reason, because I want to speed up the process. This isn't, Plenty of Fish or something like that. This is Tinder. It's a hookup app. For people who really look at it for anything other than that, you're kind of misleading yourself. But the majority of what I actually found was really depressing, yet still funny. And at first I was kind of pissed off, but then I kind of got into having fun with it instead. And I'll explain on that. By setting the age limit between 18 and 45, okay, I'm going to get a lot of bullshit, fakes, frauds, and so forth. And I'm okay with that because I'm going to have fun with them. I'm not going to get conned by them, but I'm damn sure going to have fun with them. So I found a lot of them that were either hey, what's your phone number? Or, they're phishing. And I'm not talking about with an F. I'm talking about PHI phishing. They're phishing for information. They're trying to see if they can get them an easy mark. Some of the experiences I had, one was trying to tell me that she needed money for her college books because she was in college, and she had to have that book today, or she was going to get kicked out of school if she didn't have that book by today, and that I had to send her the money because she had no other way of getting that book today. And I'm like, hey, it's like 7 miles from here. I can be there in 15 minutes. We can get together. I'll take you to the bookstore, and you can go ahead. I'll go ahead and pay for the book, and then we can go out and get something to eat and that kind of stuff. So we got plenty of time. Stores are open till X number of time, or like 5 or 6 or whatever. And this conversation started at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Plenty of time. Hey, I'll come by. I'll pick you up. Hell, we can go back to your place and get a little freaky, and then still got plenty of time. Go over there. I'll get you the book. We'll get something to eat. We'll come back. We'll fool around some more. That kind of stuff. Just make a day of it. And no, I had to send it electronically. I had to wire her the money right then and there. I couldn't just... She wouldn't accept the fact that, I can be there in 15 minutes. You're right down the street from me. No, it had to be electronically wired. So, pure bullshit. So, I just kept messing with this person and just having fun with them. By screwing with their minds and stringing the con artist, the scammer, and wasting their time. Another one said that they live right down the street from me. They're within 5 miles from my location, and yet not 15 minutes into our conversation talking about things and whatever, I'm like, well, come to find out, I'm in South Carolina. She's in frickin' New Hampshire. Like, oh, well, when are you going to be back in town? Whenever you want me, baby. And then whenever they throw out the baby, it's bullshit. Okay? So, I'm like, all right, let's hear it. We just turned from a good conversation to here's where it falls. You're a scammer. Okay. So, I've never met you in person. I haven't seen you naked. I don't know anything about you other than what we've talked about briefly for like 15, 20 minutes. And now you want me to just send you airfare so that you can come, quote unquote, home back to this town? Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. So, yeah, into that conversation. But, kept trying to feel it out, see if there was something real about it, and there wasn't. It was just bullshit. Um, so those were good ones. Not going to happen. I've had several of them that are just trying to sell nude pictures. Do you know about this place called Pornhub? You can get all the damn pictures and shit and videos for free. Yeah, you don't even have to sign up. You can just go there and just watch videos and have fun. So why the hell would I give you $50, $60, $80, $90 of my hard-earned money to have pictures of you when I can just go on Pornhub and get as many pictures I want for free? Or videos for free. So, yeah, that ain't gonna happen, Captain. And then there were the whores. They can hide behind terminology like, are you generous? Yeah, I'm really frickin' generous. But no, I am not buying a whore or renting a whore. Because you're not buying it, you're renting it. Yeah, every one of these fakes and frauds that I ran into, I had my fun with them, screwing with them. One of them straight up said, yeah, I want a Benjamin. I'm like, oh, are you referring to, $100 bill? Oh, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, well, how about $60? Trying to barter with them. Just messing with their heads, knowing good and damn well I'm not paying for no hooker. Especially not through frickin' Tinder. Because, God forbid, you show up to their quote-unquote, their place, which turns into it being a hotel, and you get jumped and shot or stabbed and robbed. Yeah, that shit ain't happening, Captain. So, yeah. Tinder seems to be, especially if you're my age, it is going to be 95 or more percent pure fake fraud scams. Fishing people that are just trying to fish for data. Yeah, and whores. It's just not worth going on there if you're 100% serious. I'm not saying don't do it. Hey, you might have better luck than I did, but that's what I found, and I reported every damn one of them and made sure their accounts got shut down. Let's move into Facebook dating. Yeah, Facebook dating. Met a lot of ladies that were my age, but they were either just browsing or they were into having good conversations and not getting together and actually meeting or doing anything. And I am very respectful whenever I talk to people, and I'm not going to say, oh my God, you're ugly, hell no, I don't want anything to do with you. But there were a couple that were very unattractive, and I had no physical desires towards them whatsoever, and it was in my best interest to carry on a nice conversation for a short amount of time, but never brought up the idea of wanting to get together with them. I didn't want to hurt their feelings, and I didn't want them to hurt my feelings, but there was just no way in hell that I was going to meet up with them. Even though they were super nice people, there was just no physical attraction in one way or another. So, going on to OkCupid. Again, this one has a website and an app. You can use both. Again, with me shutting down cookies, some of the stuff I can't really use that well on their website because of my blocking cookies. So the app works just fine. Of course, they're farming all your data off your phone anyway, so whatever, they all do. I met quite a few people on there. They were all scammers. Some of the same stories as what I got from Tinder. I need you to wire me money, or you can send me money on Cash App or whatever. I'm like, not happening. You're not getting any money out of me. If I am not if we have not even met in person, we haven't had sex, we haven't had any dating going on or anything, why the hell would I give you any money? It's just not going to happen. So, OkCupid used to be a popular site, from what I understand, but there's not a whole lot of active users, and that kind of, I don't see a whole lot of active users. I might see about 4 or 5, and they never even respond back. So, not really much in the way of activity. So, there's no way in hell I'd ever consider giving them money. So, we're going to move on to the last one, which is going to be Grindr, which is going to be a fun experiment here. And again, I wanted to be fair across the board. I don't care about people's gender identities. That does not affect me one way or another. I don't care if somebody's gay, bi, whatever. I don't care. If it does not physically affect me, then I don't care what your identity is. Call yourself what you want. Act how you want. Do your thing, as long as it makes you happy and doesn't interfere with anybody else. But I did kind of want to see what it was like, and I wanted to see just how other guys are. I'm a respectful person. I'm a genuinely nice guy whenever it comes to the way that I treat people that I'm interested in. Especially, I try to treat everybody nicely, but if I have any desire to be with somebody, then I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be inconsiderate. I'm just going to be a nice person, and that's just me. That's how I am. So, after talking to some of these girls on like Tinder and OkCupid and Facebook dating and all this other stuff, I asked them questions. What is it like, for a woman being on these dating sites? You'd be amazed. Well, maybe you wouldn't be amazed, but guys can just be downright pathetic and nasty at times. And I got to see some of this firsthand myself using this app. And no, I did not meet up with anybody from the app. Okay, so these are all just conversations and messages that I got from other users. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Again, I put on there that I'm looking for white, Asian, Latino. That's all. And same basic information that I put from the other stuff, age, race, that kind of stuff. But since it is pretty much nothing but a gay hookup site for gay guys, I don't know if it's something that women use. I don't know. I didn't see any. I'm sorry. I did see one that claimed that they were a woman. However, their profile said otherwise. Their profile information says I'm a woman, but I'm a top, and avoid crap like that to begin with. But I got so many random messages from people just sending dick pics. I don't want them. There's an option you can set up in there saying, do you accept images that are not safe for work, NSFW or whatever, and I selected no, that I do not want anybody to send me pictures. I every day get between 3 and 5 random people just sending me dick pics, and all of them except for about 2 or 3 have been black guys. So you didn't read my profile at all, much less, anything else. If you don't read my profile, then why would you just randomly send me pictures of your genitalia? I don't want to see it. Nothing there that I want to see. Then there's the trans girls. The guys that want to be girls. Hey, I'm not judging. Do your thing. Every single solitary one of them were whores. They were straight up solicitation for prostitution. I reported every single solitary one of them, and their accounts have been banned. I did not meet any on there. I did not talk to any of them that were not prostitutes. And again, don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that shit. at all. Again, if you do decide you want to go ahead and pay this trans gal $100 to hook up, what's to say that you're not going to get robbed as soon as you show up? That it's not actually that cute trans girl you've been checking out pictures of on the Grindr app. It's actually 5 or 6 guys who are just going to jump you, stab you, take all your freaking money, and yeah. So we're going to move on from that, because after that whole deal, I got to see kind of what it's like for women, because I've had ladies that I've talked to on these different date apps and sites that told me that they get random dick pics all the time. Like, seriously, women's brains and their libido work a whole lot different from a guy's train of thought. Guys, if a woman says, hey, you want to see me naked, or you want to see naked pictures of me? Yeah. We don't care if you're ugly, skinny, fat, green, purple, doesn't matter. If you mention that you're going to send us pictures of you naked, or if we would like to see you naked, the answer is going to be yes. Plain simple. Women don't really work like that. They've already kind of got to be worked up, and they already have to be aroused to a certain point before they could even think about wanting to see pictures like that. At least the majority of the ladies that I've talked to. I've met a couple of them that, they were freakily weak, and I love them for it, but yeah, send me a picture of your dick. I don't care. But that's like 1% of the women that I've dealt with in the past. And the majority of them, that doesn't turn them on. It doesn't get them excited seeing pictures of guys. Unless they're already kind of turned on and they want to see a picture of that, and they can build a mental picture in their brain, which gets them even more excited. Yeah. If you're not familiar with how the female brain works, then you shouldn't be dating to begin with. But again, some people just need to be out of the freaking gene pool. So, moving on, the major problem with free hookup and date sites is that it is free. But the usual commodity is you. They're going to be farming your data for everything they can get out of you on the free websites. They're farming your data. They're going to sell your data. So you have to understand that before you even go out there and go to them. They're going to make their money one way or the other, whether you're giving it to them or somebody else is giving them to you, giving them money for your information. They're going to make money one way or the other. So between all these fakes and frauds and catfish and whores and scammers, it's easy to make a free email account. So every time they get their account banned, they just make a new one and use a new email address. Prime example was there was one on Grindr that this idiot was asking straight up solicitation for prostitution. And I reported their account. That account got banned. Later that same day, that same person made another account with the same exact images. So I reported that one too. It got banned. This person went for about a week straight where they would make 2 accounts a day because I would keep getting them banned. And if I see those pictures pop up again, which I probably won't be using that app anymore. It was all part of the experiment anyway. But, if I see it again, I'm going to report it. And in fact, I actually saw one of them on Grindr that was saying that she was a trans girl and using the same image of somebody that I had already identified on Tinder as a, they were identifying themselves as a woman, not a trans girl, but a straight up woman, and we're also trying to beg for money. So I'd already got them banned on multiple platforms. Alright, so how can you spot these scammers, these fakes, these catfish, these frauds, the whores? How do you spot them? How do you keep yourself from getting tied up into this crap? And I wanted to cover a few things on this one, and just some pointers of things that I've seen. Normally it's pretty easy, unless you're just totally gullible. But usually if they're a lot younger than you are, me being 50, if they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and they initiate the conversation, that's a big key that they're probably fake. The age range, I also noticed kind of going through a cycle. For like a week or so, I was getting nothing but 18 to 20-year-olds. And then for about another week after that was 20 to 29-year-olds. And then now I started seeing some 30 to 39-year-olds, but I also see a few of them that are claiming that they're in their early 40s, but not that many. And they all turn out to be scammers, frauds. Another thing, if you initiate the conversation or they do, and you've only said one or two lines to each other and they ask for your phone number, if they ask for your phone number, especially early on in the conversation, do not give them your number. They're just going to use that number. They're going to sell it to some list, and then you're going to start getting phone calls from here and there and everywhere else, and start getting scams and all kind of other freaking bullshit. So just don't give them the phone number until you've fully established that they're not bullshit. So just write it out, put it off, don't give them the phone number, explain to them that, hey, you can be honest. I get a lot of people that are phishing, or I get a lot of people that are frauds that are just trying to steal my information. So for right now, let's keep this conversation on the dating app, because most of these dating app and websites keep your data. They keep your conversations. I know, like Tinder and shit like that, they keep that shit for forever. So that your conversation can always be pulled back up again. You can't delete it. So don't give out your phone number. You can make up another lie like, oh, well, my phone's dead, it's on charge, or I left it in my car, so let's just keep talking right here for now. Or, man, I dropped my phone earlier, the screen's damaged, whatever. I'm going to have to wait until Monday or whatever until I can get a new phone. So make up a reason why you're not going to get it. You can either be honest, or you can just make up a lie. Either way, just don't give them out your phone number until you are 100% sure that they're real. Same thing with your email address. Just don't do it. If they ask for money for any reason at all, do not do it. If you give somebody money specifically so you can go and hook up with them, that is prostitution. You're paying for sex at that point. That is prostitution. You can be arrested for that. So don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in their sad stories. Oh, I need this book for my college class, or I need airfare to get home, or I got to pay off a warrant or I'll go to jail. I've heard that one too. Don't listen to their sad stories. I need airfare to get home. That was nice. I like that one. Don't do it. Don't send them money at all. Make up a reason if you want to. You can be honest if you want to. I prefer honesty. Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm just not going to do it. There's a lot of frauds and so forth out here that are just trying to scam people out of money, and not saying that you are, but I'm not going to do it. Be nice about it, but be direct. No, I'm not sending you any money. Usually the conversation at that point is over. They want nothing else to do with you. Then you know 100% they were just a fraud. Like the one with the college book that I mentioned earlier, that was great. They're claiming that they're only a few miles away from you according to their profile. It's like, hey, I can be there in 15 minutes, and you got to have that college book. I can come by and pick you up. I have cars. I have more than one car. I can come over and pick you up, take you over there, and I can get you that book. The first offer was, hey, I can come over, we can hook up, and, have fun, and then I'll carry you over there, and I will pay for the book. I don't care, because if we've already had sex, then I wasn't paying for sex. I was just buying you a book, because then we're going to go out and get something to eat, and then maybe go back to your place and meet up all this cool things. And legitimately speaking, if you had to have that book today, then what's the problem with me driving over there, picking you up, and going and take you to get that book? It was all just an elaborate thing that she kept coming up with reasons why that wasn't going to work, that I had to electronically send the money. And yeah, so don't fall for any reason whatsoever for money. Just don't do it. Look at their profile information. if they've got Snapchat listed in their profile description, almost be willing to guarantee you they're trying to sell naked pictures or they're bullshit. They're scammers. So you can just kind of go ahead and just swipe left on that one, because if they've got Snapchat in their profile information, they're not genuine. So unless you just want to see some naked pictures, but that's what Pornhub is for. Look at their profile pictures. And I had to select this one kind of carefully, and I had to edit this one a little bit too. And I had to edit it to blur out all the nakedness. This girl sent me probably 20 pictures, and there were some good ones in there too. I've kept them because they're kind of nice. Nice, cute blonde, and yes, I'm going to show your face because you're a scamming bitch. Sorry, but yeah, you're a liar, and yeah, doesn't matter. So she claimed that she lived in South Carolina, and that she lived in a town that was like right next to my town, and she was maybe 10 miles away, that we could hook up and we could have a good time and everything else. And I'm looking at the pictures. This was actually whenever Craigslist was a thing. Craigslist personals. So this is an older image. But I'm like, okay, well, where were these pictures taken? Oh, they were taken at my brother's house or whatever else. And well, really? And they were claiming that these pictures were taken here in this area, not a few miles from my house. Okay? For those of you who are astute, who actually pay attention and can look at details like this, I'm going to zoom in on something. And specifically this right here. Look at the wall socket. Okay? That is not an American wall socket. This is what an American wall socket looks like. It's either going to be straight 2 vertical prongs like that, or 3 like this with a D shape there. The one in that image looks a lot like that. This is typical of a wall outlet that you'll find in Europe, and specifically also in Russia. Hey, I like Russian chicks too. I have no problems with Russia. I'm not trying to start any political battles here, but if you're claiming that picture was taken, this picture was taken right here in my state, in my country, then why is it that your wall outlets don't look like mine? So, straight up scam bullshit, and I called her on it, and of course ended the conversation. But I did end up with a good selection of nice pictures to look at. So, pay attention. If you look in the photos, I had another one that said that she was right here in my town also, that she was about 5 miles away, and I look at the picture and she's in a restaurant sitting there, and I look at the menu. You can read the name of the restaurant in the menu, and I Google that restaurant, and that restaurant was in New York. Definitely not in South Carolina. The other one that they claimed that that picture of them that they sent me was taken locally as well, and it was in California. So yeah, if you pay attention to the images, you're going to see some things that just don't add up. Ask questions about the local area. See what they know. Now, don't be too specific. Don't say, well, on Fred Road on the corner of South 7th Street or whatever. Don't get specific and list out street names. Be vague, and you do the fishing for the information, like using landmarks. What was the name of that restaurant that was right across from Bob's Oil Change place? Right down the street. The main road that goes right there through Charleston or Columbia or Norfolk or Orlando, or just you name that main area that based on your local area, without actually saying city names, town names, street names. If you're already established that you're in a certain area, then you might can use a general vague area. Charleston area here is Charleston, North Charleston, West Ashley, Mount Pleasant, Moncks Corner, Somerville. There's a bunch of towns that are really close to each other. And I know all of them. I've been through all of them. I've driven through all of them. Hell, I've driven ambulances in those areas, fire departments, and that kind of stuff too. But so I know the areas. So you mention things that are non-specific but use actual names. Especially using things like, oh, the McDonald's. Right across from McDonald's, there was a restaurant. It was called so-and-so. I'll give another example here. And I'm actually going to go to Google Maps here. Many years ago, I lived in an area, and I'm just going to zoom in on it and give you a prime example. You can use Google Maps to your benefit. So if they're telling you that, hey, I live in so-and-so town, and they get a little bit vague, and go to Google Maps. It could be your friend. I lived in a little area called Bono. I'm sorry. It wasn't in Bono. It was... Let's see. There was a... Okay, right here. So, as many of you know, I used to have a Winnebago. Well, I've had two of them, a couple of them. But I had a Winnebago, and I lived out at this place right here. It was called Atkins Landing. This was a RV park that also was a trailer park, and there was a building right here that, and as you can see, this is wide open fields. There's nothing here now. Everything is flat and open. The roads are not actually even there anymore, except for this main road that goes through right here. But there was a store, general store here, boat landing, you can go fish right off the shore. It was a nice little quiet area. So whenever I was having problems with the missus, I called it the doghouse. And I would go out there and I'd stay out there for a couple weeks or a couple months at a time. So I had a fallback location, so things weren't going well. But looking at Google Maps, when you're trying to pick out something that you know used to be there but may not be there anymore, you always have to be wary of things like this right here. So you can see this is wide open fields, right? But I'll scroll in, and now what do you see? I'm on Street View. Mobile homes and campers. Building there. Actually, that was my RV. So you can see, and then I moved on Street View, and it's gone. That RV is gone. So I can come back right over here again and look back over here. That RV is there now, and I move up one, and it is no longer there. But you can see all the different stuff that's out here now. So I go down this road and look here. Now there's a mobile home there. So all those Google images are not going to be identical with each other. So you can use that information if you want to try to find out if somebody's actually being a scam or not. It's usually not that hard if you aren't really gullible to be able to figure out that they're being, well, they're just lying to you. They're being a fraud. And they say, oh, well, here's another thing that comes up from that as well, is so that they can camouflage the fact that they don't know much about the area. A lot of them I see now are also saying that, oh, I've just moved here from Philadelphia or New York or from Kansas or wherever. They just moved here. So that's why they don't really know the area that well. I just moved to your town and I'm looking for a new friend. Okay, seems legit. So check them out. Oh, well, where do you come from? Oh, I came from Philadelphia. Oh, really? What school did you go to? What high school did you go to? What college did you go to? If you can get the high school out of them. Oh, wow, yeah. Damn, what was your mascot name? Every high school's got a freaking sporting team, and they have a mascot. Just in basic conversation, don't make it come off like you're the one farming for information. Like, oh my God, I think I know that school. Weren't they, if their mascot was the Eagles, wasn't their mascot the Bears? Yep, it sure was. And you've already Googled it and found out that there were the Eagles, not the Bears. So you just found out that they're talking shit. So it's easy to catch them in lies. If they're playing a freaking long con, then you need to be playing a long con back. Have some fun with them, but don't give them your personal information. Be as vague as you can about that. Don't give them any money. They want you to send them a face pic. Okay. So another thing that I see now that's popping up, must have a face pic. Okay. So you send them your first message. Yeah, I got a face pic in my profile. Go check it out. Why do they want a face pic? Because they can use that face pic, and you can actually do a Google search on an image, and it will look online to see wherever that image is listed. I didn't know this until recently, that you could actually do that. If that picture is also on Facebook, well, they just found out that you're on Facebook. They have your first name, your last name, and your basic information from your Facebook account. They can see what you have publicly listed. They can see your friends, and they can start pecking at your friends and seeing who's got all their shit opened up. Try to get them they send a friend request on Facebook, and now if they become friends of a friend or your friend on Facebook, now they've got your pictures, your images, your life story, what you frickin' ate last Tuesday. So yeah, if they ask for a face pic, just tell them, hey, especially if you're using Tinder or Grindr or whatever else, you just tell them, hey, there's a face pic in my profile. That's good enough. Don't send them any pictures. Don't send them a dick pic. For God's sake, guys, stop sending dick pics unless somebody asks for one. Don't send it. But make sure they're not bullshit before you send them a dick pic. Because, hey, now they've tricked you into getting on Facebook, and guess what? Now you're not going to give them any money, so to get back at you for not falling for their scams, they're going to post your dick pic on your Facebook. So be careful. Learn how to spot them. If you need help trying to identify whether somebody's a fraud or not, get with me on Discord, and I'll help you find out. Because I'm tired of people who abuse the system and scam people, especially people who are trying to find love or just trying to find some nookie. Either way, you're lonely, you want a little loving. Why should that make you a target for someone to go after and scam? Because guys can tend to be gullible, and if they get any hint that they might get a little bit of nookie, guys, we can be stupid at times. I'm not stupid about this. So if you think you're being catfished, get with me on Discord and let's talk about it. We'll find out one way or the other. So I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been basically talking about date sites and my social experiment of what I ran into and how bad they've gotten and how bad the overall outlook is. But I just wanted to do this video to kind of show what I came up with from all these different date sites and what they've turned into. And again, primarily they're filled with scammers, spammers, fishing expeditions, catfish, liars, whores, prostitutes, whatever. But don't assume that every person you talk to is a whore or prostitute or a scammer. Be nice until you start seeing the signs that they are potentially one of those scammers. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, like. If you leave a comment on the video, I'm probably not going to see it. The reason why I don't check the messages on my videos, I have a Discord channel that is linked in the description of the video, of all of my videos. All you have to do is click on that link. Even if you don't have Discord, It'll come up, allow you to download, install it, whether it's on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer. It works on your PC, or any of your devices. I have three 32-inch monitors. Discord app stays up on a 32-inch monitor by itself. So the only thing that I run on that entire monitor is that app. So post your questions, comments, and general mayhem once you join the channel, and I'll respond to them. If then you need to talk in private, we can do a Discord message, we can do voice, we can share desktops, share stories, whatever else. So get with me on Discord if you have any questions or comments, and I'll respond to them there. Again, thanks for watching. Love you guys, and not just when it's cold. And we will see you in the next video. Sorry for the lack of image and just seeing my desktop. I'm slowly getting frickin' Streamlabs working again. So we'll see.